Don in London, hello. It's December the 5th, 2009. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. I'm stumbling over my words this morning. Yes. Recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My addictive substance, alcohol, my behaviour, also addictive. Work, relationships, you name it. I could be obsessed and self-willed and running on self-will to the point of self-obsession. And it didn't happen overnight. It took a while to get there. But alcohol was the trigger in all this. Or rather, I was the trigger who found alcohol. And it took the edge off me. It made me feel convivial and joyful. I thought it helped me access, or I felt it helped me access my emotions and my happiness. And of course, to an extent it did, because taking the edge off meant that I was fuzzy around the edges. And these days I found that being sharp and clear and in reality and facing life as it is, life on life's terms, is far better, because we deal with everything in the moment of now. So if we're alert, alive, in the moment of clarity, and every moment can be as clear as can be if we are sober and on a journey of progress but not perfection. And what happened to me, I tried to be perfect in every department of life and realised somehow that no matter what I did, there was always going to be a gap. So filling the gap with anything and everything, obsessive behaviour, led me into that addiction to alcohol. So I know now that I would have been better not taking that first drink when I was a kid. But you know, we can't roll the clocks back, and there's no point in looking back and staring and beating ourselves up. It's about how we deal with reality today. So what has helped me find myself in recovery one day at a time? Well, family, friends, community helped me as best they could when they realised I was in trouble. But being a self-willed individual and trying to use my self-will, they couldn't. And I, in the end, failed with my self-will. And that is just the way it is. Self-will will fail. I don't know how many times I beat myself up and put myself in danger by trying to do it on my own. That's what I was taught to do. Put on a brave face, stiff upper lip, and get on with it. And the answer was, I was beaten by an addiction. And addiction is a disease. And I never realised it, and it's the disease which says you haven't got it. So there we go. It was a hard struggle. So what keeps me sober today? Well, friends, family in particular who love me, friends and fellowship, and the fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. I never speak for AA, I never speak for the people in the fellowship either. Everyone is unique and authentic and shares their message of experience, strength and hope where they choose. And I choose to share how I'm doing on a daily basis and share some of the literature of AA which helps me keep on a sober path. So AA, what is it? Well, there's a statement of intent which is shared at every meeting. It's called the AA Preamble, and it goes like this, and I share it here. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And I've just had a text from somebody I know who is not quite with it at the moment. And it's very hard when somebody's in the problem of drink and is still drinking, that the blame is pointed outwards rather than looking at how to find the solution. And you know, with addiction there is no blame. It's a disease. It sends people absolutely mad, insane. And it's only when we start to get clear-headed again from not drinking that we start to move into a solution of learning the 12-step program if you're in a fellowship, or learning a way forward, a new path. And AA is not the only way, because if it were, there's a lot of people out there dying of this disease and getting no help. So there is other help, medical help from professionals, especially in the UK. I don't know about anywhere else, but there are other ways to do this. So if AA doesn't suit, find something else. But don't give up on yourself. That's the most important thing, and I nearly did. But my moment of clarity was, I cannot do it on my own. And after that, there were several rock bottoms to go before I actually made it into sobriety. But at least I had a bit more hope that there was a possibility, with help and with others, I could make a life again. So I have, and it's one day long. So AA literature, what's it all about? Well, the 12-step program of AA, all about changing my attitude and behaviour on a daily basis. 12 steps, it sounds like a lot, but it's not when we know what they are and how they work in reality. So 12 steps, 12 months, and in this book, Daily Reflections, it's all about sharing the message with others and passing it on, basically. But you can't, well, without doing the other 11 steps. The 12th step about the spiritual awakening, the emotional balance, and physically keeping well. All 12 steps, they all work, and they have a part to play in my life. So for today, and it's a 1 page a day, but each step covered each month. So step 12, State of New Consciousness, was December the 5th. He has been granted a gift of which amounts to a new state of consciousness and being. Many of us in AA puzzle over this, what is a spiritual awakening? I tended to look for a miracle, something dramatic and earth-shattering, but what usually happens is that a sense of well-being, a feeling of peace, transforms us into a new level of awareness. That's what happened to me. My insanity and inner turmoil disappeared, and I entered into a new dimension of hope, love and peace. I think the degree to which I continue to experience this new dimension is in direct proportion to the sincerity, depth and devotion with which I practice the 12 steps of AA. So, what is it saying? Well, somebody said they were trying to improve their, or increase their, or heighten their spiritual awareness and get to another level last night. Was it last night or some other night? But, the truth of now, to be in the moment of now, is our spiritual connection. I'm moving on, and I've just picked up this one, the 24-hour day book, which is not authorised by AA, but it's been helpful to me now and again. It says here for December the 5th, AA thought for the day. In spite of all we have learned in AA, our old way of thinking comes back on us, sometimes with overwhelming force, and occasionally some of us have slips. That's absolutely true. I hope I don't have one, well, I'm hoping not to, ever again. Been a long time. We forget or refuse to call on the higher power for help. We seem to deliberately make our minds a blank so far as AA training goes, and we take a drink. We eventually get drunk. We are temporarily right back where we started from. Those who have had slips say unanimously they are no fun. They say AA had taken all the pleasure out of drinking. They knew they were doing the wrong thing. The old mental conflict was back in full force. They were disgusted with themselves. Am I convinced that I can never get anything more out of drinking? Well, the simple answer for me is yes. But, we're all susceptible. And if we're not looking after ourselves, and we don't have a program which keeps us in the right attitude and in the right behaviour, it's so easy to be forgetful, get angry, disappointed, desolate, rageful at ourselves for not being able to conquer what we cannot conquer, and that's addiction. So these days I'm very grateful, and as I end these videos with the serenity prayer to acceptance, to the God of your understanding, all good conscience, God, grant me this serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference is for me, just for today.